What's good, my G's? Your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? Of course, G stands for Gamers. I don't want to do the intro. Shout out to everybody. If you just coming to us for the first time, you already know. Subscribe, give us 10 videos, blah blah blah. To the team that's already been here, IGZ. You already know. This is Snow, my boy RZA, and there's other people here, but whatever. I want to get into this thing because I mentioned this a while ago. There was a very light line, and I had a bunch of offline, well, let me not say offline, that was one of the series here. I had a bunch of conversations off the internet with my boy RZA and a few other people that's a part of the team. And one of my discussions was about the price of indie games were creeping up. And apparently, the homie Lord Cthulhu thinks the same. And, IGN reported that he made a NeoGAF post. And he has some pretty good points. I read it really quickly. I didn't have to read too much to agree, because just when I skimmed it, I was just like, yeah, that's what I was saying. So it was great to know that I'm not bugging, but more importantly, I kind of want you guys' range on it. And before I even get into what he said, I have a question for you. Have you bought an indie game? Was the price you paid worth it? Or did you feel like you didn't get enough out of it? And if so, what indie games did you buy that you like? What indie games did you buy that you didn't like? And also, if you don't have answers for either of those, a part of your PlayStation Plus or Games with Gold, the copycat company, did you like any of those games that you downloaded? Now for me, I can name a slew of them, and I may do it at a different time, although I will tell you, don't starve. Right? Other than that, answer the question as I read, some of the things that they pulled. So basically, he said, I've seen a disturbing trend of more and more indie games launching at higher prices recently. Whereas $10 to $15 was the norm for non-mobile indie games not that long ago. It feels like more and more $20 is becoming the standard. Lower prices often benefit both players and the developer. Lower prices mean more people play your game. Lower prices often result in more positive reviews. Lower prices means more buzz around your game and more people tell their friends to play the game. Lower prices often means more total revenue for the developer, as dropping the price in half often results in way more than double the sales. Where's the next pull quote? They said he continued his discussion by debunking a number of arguments he claims to frequently see from his detractors, claiming that some creators overvalue their work and price them too high as a result, dangerously compare their games to others selling at the price point, warning that launching it at a higher price conditions consumers to wait for sales to begin purchasing. And before I get into the next pull quote, which I just found, I actually kind of agree. Quoting again, I feel like once you reach $20, you're no longer at an impulse buy level. Now you're competing directly against AAA titles that came out a few months ago. People will buy your $20 game if they really want it, and that's about it. Whereas $15, or especially at $10, you're much more likely to get people who have some interest, see positive reviews, and decided to buy on it. Now, for the record, I kind of roll with Cthulhu on this. I do think $20 when I'm in that store, I get into that dicey mode. This actually happened pretty recently. I'll confess, I bought the Drive Club. Whatever, man. I bought the Drive Club Season Pass, right? Sue me, right? I like the game. Shut up. So, while I was in there, I was rolling around and I'm seeing a bunch of indie games priced about $20. And I'm like, I heard it was good. I don't know if it's good. Do I really want to spend money on something that I may or may not have? Or do I want to buy additional content for something that I already like? And at the end of the day, I had a choice. I paid $20 for that game, or I spent an extra $5 for that DLC. Obviously, I chose to spend the extra $5 on something that was a sure thing for my taste already. Now, at $15, that's a longer fight. Maybe I don't buy anything. And then let's just say the PlayStation Plus sale comes around where they be like, okay, every indie game at this price point of 15 is down at 10. That 20 bucks is still sitting in my account. Maybe I can get 2 games for the price of 10. Now, you're an indie game. I don't think you should be hovering around 20, 25. Although I can see a reason why. Like, I still haven't looked into the price of No Man's Sky. And in my opinion, No Man's Sky better not be $20. And I don't mean that meaning it should be less. The game seems like it's almost, and I say almost again, Sniper Elite status. Where Sniper Elite games come out at 50 bucks. The going rate is 60. So if it's not Sniper Elite status, it's one step under it. And almost, just upon what I've recently, because I just came aboard, almost feels like a $40 game. Now, Cthulhu, as he was saying, or whatever his other name, Boyd, I completely agree with him on that $20 price point. That impulse purchase is gone. And I'll just wait till the next PlayStation Plus where they give me an indie game, which you know they're going to give me. And Ali Ali is a great example of one of those indie games that appeared in there, and I was going to buy it, but before I had a chance to buy it, they gave it to me for free. Oof, it never fails. The other game that I was going to buy, I didn't get a chance to buy it, was the Don't Starve game. Before I had a chance to buy it, it was already given to me. So there's other games in there that were pretty dope, and Guacamelee, which I already had, Limbo, which I already had, you know, all these games, which were very good games, even at $15, it's like it's still. And maybe you can get away with it with a part 2 if the game permits itself. You know, if it's your first game in that series and that IP, quote unquote, maybe the next game could be 20 if it's critically acclaimed or whatever. Maybe you can bundle it in. It's 15, but you throw an extra 5 in there to get the old game with it. Whatever the case may be. But like at 15 and you have a flash sale for 10, that's dope. A year out. A year and a half, 16 months to 2 years, 75%, that puts you at $750. I think that's pretty, you know, at 50%, sorry, puts you at $750. The game coming out at 20, I'm almost always going to just be like, oh, that's nice, I'm gonna hear about it somewhere. And I say that after I just purchased the baseball game that I'm playing. And the thing about that was, I played that game back when it was at PAX East. I knew that game was on point. I actually messed up on it because the game was supposed to be under a different name. So when it hit, I completely lost the game. I lost track of the game. But I found it because now it's going to Xbox One. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Do you think 15 should be the standard in most cases? Do you think 20 is good enough? How many of y'all are actually buying these games at 20? And you're on YouTube. How many of you guys actually research these games on YouTube? It's a big difference. Although I will say this, all indie games should have a 15-minute trial. Real talk. Anyway, your boy Snow, and the reason we can get into that another time. But just think about it. You tell me why you think I'm saying that. Anyway, your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers, and I'm out. Peace.